For this first problem, the first two, you're asked to convert from either radians to, either from degrees to radians, or for the second one, radians to degrees. So for the first few, because we want to go to radians, we need to multiply by the unit conversion, which is, well, there's multiple ones you could use. You could either use pi over, so pi radians is 180 degrees. You could do, that's fine. You could do 2 pi over 360 degrees. These are the same, right? You can see why. It doesn't matter which one you use. I'm going to use the first, but your instructor might have showed you either one. It doesn't matter. You get the same answer. So if you do this, the degrees cancel out. That's the whole point, because you have it in the numerator here and in the denominator below. So this is 12 pi over 180, and the units that are left are radians. So radians. And this can be simplified just algebraically to pi over 15 radians. And that makes this in quadrant 1, because it's less than pi over 2 by a lot, right? Okay. Part C, again, multiply by the conversion, either pi over 180 or 2 pi over 360, it doesn't matter. This gives you 610 pi over 180, 180, and this is now radians. So this simplifies to 61 pi over 18 radians. And this is, you could find coterminal angles here, or you can just use your calculator and compute numerically what this fraction is, and then look at the unit circle. But either way, this is in quadrant 3. Because its coterminal measure is 250 degrees, which makes it in quadrant 3. So if you're going the other way, you want to determine the degree measure of the radians here. You can do 2 conversions, 2 of the more common ones. You can either do 180 degrees over pi radians, or you could do 360 degrees divided by 2 pi radians. These are equivalent, they're the same thing. It just depends which one you want to use. It really doesn't matter. Just multiples of each other. So the units that survive here are degrees. So this is 7 pi times 180 divided by pi, and this is going to be in degrees. Pi cancels out, so we have 7 times 180 degrees, and this is 1,260 degrees. And this is coterminal to um, 180 degrees, so it's this angle. So it's on the negative x-axis. So I'm not going to write what quadrant it's in. Negative 2 pi multiplied by 180 degrees over pi radians, and this is negative 2 pi times 180 degrees over pi, and leave that out, but the units here should be degrees. So this is negative 2 times 180 because pi cancels out, and this is degrees, and this is negative 360 degrees. You could have done this perhaps by just knowing that 2 pi is 360, so negative 2 pi is negative 360. But either way. And this is, again, this is on the positive x-axis, so it's coterminal to 0. Something like 4 here is not common because normally we want to express radian measures as a fraction of pi, but this can still be converted to degrees. The same process. The difference here is that your answer will be 4 times 180 divided by pi, and the pi will not cancel out because it's not in the numerator like it was before. So your answer here is just 4 times 180, which is 720 over pi radians. That would be your answer. And you can't really estimate where this is. You can't really find a coterminal angle because you have pi in the denominator. I'm sorry, wait. This should be degrees, not radians. So 720 degrees, 720 over pi, and I recommend you just do this as a just divide it in your calculator. It's approximately 229 degrees, so it's in quadrant 3. Okay. And then for question 3, find the arc length of each angle span on the circle of radius 3. So it's a fixed radius for each of these. So for part A, you have to convert this into radians first. So this is equal to, if you multiply by the conversion, pi radians, 180 degrees, then this is 45 pi over 180, and this is now in radians, which is pi over 4 radians. And so now you can do the arc length. The arc length is the angle times, so p times r. P is the angle and r is the radius, but this has to be in radians. It will not work in degrees. You have to convert it first. So now that it's converted to pi over 4, pi over 4 times 3. So this is just 3 pi over 4, and this has units of feet. Because it has units, it's a length, has to have units, it's the units of the radius. So then like part E, this is already in radians. You don't need to convert it. So you can just apply the formula directly, P times R. The angle is pi over 4. Radius is 3. So this is 3 pi over 4 feet. Same thing as the one above. And probably do one more here. Part C, this is already in radians again, so you don't need to convert this. So P times R, angle is 2 pi, radius is 3. So this is 6 pi